Remy is a French artist who works with oil paints. He has a regular life with his wife Lucille and their 2 kids. Remy falls into the chair one day while playing with the kids. He gets up quickly, but the strange thing stays with him for a long time. Since that day, he has had similar things happen to him often. He sinks deep into the couch and even his own bed, then quickly pulls himself back up. Since he can't think of a good reason, he thinks it's all in his head and ignores it. Remy is with the kids in his studio one afternoon. He forgets to turn off the water, so the whole studio gets flooded. The small mistake costs him all of his money and ends his career. Again, he falls to the floor while trying to get the other good paintings. This time he can't pull himself up, and he falls into a lake in a different world. It looks like this world has 3 suns. Soon, a group of tribesmen sees him and runs over to him. Remy walks backward out of fear, and he is pulled back into the water. In the next second, he was back in his world, and a friend was dragging him out of the studio. Remy knows he didn't just dream what he saw. He tells Lucille about it when he gets home, but she laughs it off right away. Instead, she is thinking about something else. Dr. Geller is Lucille's boss, and she has fallen in love with him. She wants to move in with him. She feels bad for Remy, but she has chosen to be happy over getting married to him. The worst thing that could have happened to Remy is to lose his wife and his job at the same time. Still, he tries to be understanding and talks to her about how they are together. Lucille even brought Dr. Geller to meet him, which surprised him. Remy just lets them do whatever they want and says that he will leave in a few days. After that, he goes to his family to get some comfort. They listen to him at first, but soon they turn their attention to his cousin. When Remy is feeling down, he goes to the kitchen to spend some time alone, but strange things keep happening to him there. When the family cat jumps, it stops in the air. Remy is holding it and spinning it around, but it looks like the cat has turned into a stuffed toy. Before he realizes that the world has stopped, he calls his family into the kitchen. The floor gets loose, and Remy falls through it again. He calls out for help, but before anyone can come, he is pulled into the other world. When he wakes up, he is in the middle of a forest and still holding the coffee mug. As he walks down a path, he sees some people from his tribe killing an animal. As he tries to ask them for help, he realizes that they plan to feed him to their leader. Remy runs away from the tribe, which is after him. In time, he finds a place with people and hides in a cave. Suddenly, he is pulled back into the house where he grew up, and the force makes a mess in the kitchen. When his family hears the noise and goes to check, they find the whole kitchen in a mess. Remy tries to tell them what happened, but it's clear why they don't believe him. Remy passes out from the shock of everything, and when he wakes up, he looks at the doctors. Even the doctor doesn't believe him, so the visit isn't very helpful. The next day, Remy goes to his studio, where his landlord, insurance agent, and clients have gathered to talk to him about different payments. They stop talking and moving all of a sudden. Before Remy knows it, he is once again sinking down the floor. He tries to stop himself, but it doesn't work, and for the 3rd time he ends up in the other world. He comes out of a basket on top of a tree as the tribespeople look at him with admiration. Everyone seems to have been looking forward to seeing him because the crowd cheers as soon as they see him. They thought he would fly down from the tree, but instead Remy fell on his face. At first, he and the people don't understand each other because they don't speak the same language. Then, he is forced to eat a green berry, which makes everyone understand each other. The leader of the tribe finally tells the rest of the world why Remy looks the way he does. It turns out that a giant named Zodin who eats people has been giving them trouble for a long time. He kills and eats whoever he wants, putting people in constant fear. The tribe's mages found a solution in old books. It said that only a man from another world could save them from the giant beast. So, they have been doing rituals for the past week to bring the hero to their world. Remy was having strange things happen to him because he is the one who will save the tribe. Remy, who is shocked, says he is nothing like that and won't help them, but they hold him upside down from the edge of a tower to get him to change his mind. He is then put in a room by himself and told to come up with a way to kill the beast. Remy is holding a watermelon and is suddenly taken back to his world. He was hungry after a busy day. This time, he doesn't tell anyone about what happened because he knows no one will believe him. Instead, he goes to a library to find out more about what's going on. The internet doesn't help him solve his problems, so he drinks a lot of protein to get stronger and fight Zodin. In the next scene, he's back in the alternate world, but this time he's more sure of himself. Remy knows this is his last chance to prove himself, and he doesn't want to waste it. Before they ask him how to get rid of Zodin, the tribe gives him a special sword. Remy tells them to move to a new village and says he will look out for them on the way. People in the villages are afraid because they believe that if they cross the border, lightning will strike them. Remy shows them that they are wrong by being the first to cross the border and encouraging them to do the same. Because of this, the tribe is sure that he will save them. After looking for a new place for a few hours, they run into two of Zotan's men. Remy is told to go back to the village, but he fights them off with his new fencing skills, which are surprisingly good. He kills one of the soldiers and the other runs away to tell his leader. When things settle down, people start cleaning up the dead person. Remy finds out that they plan to cook and eat it when he asks where they are taking it. He tells them to stop the strange tradition right away because it bothers him. Since the tribe doesn't want to upset their savior, they decide to do what he says. A little while later, a group of people tells the tribe that Zotan is planning to attack and that a war is about to start. Remy starts reading books about war and history when he gets back to the real world. He learns about battle formations, how to run a country, and many other things to get ready. Remy gives a speech to the tribe the next time he sees them. He has learned that the most important thing is a motivated group. People are ready to fight for themselves and their families even if they aren't told to. Remy stays with the tribe for a while and spends the night surrounded by women. They are all willing to do anything to make him happy, but Remy doesn't care. He realizes because of their advances that he still loves Lucille very much and wouldn't want to be with anyone else. Remy eventually goes back to his home in the first world. After taking care of his son, he goes back to his tribe, but when he gets there, he finds himself in the middle of a battle. He tells the tribesmen to go to higher ground because they are losing so badly. They do what they're told, so no more lives are lost. Then, Remy decides to use his plan and goes to a rival troop that is sleeping. He starts insulting and hitting them randomly to get them to come after him. Things go just as he thought they would, and the other troop is left standing alone on an empty battlefield. At this point, Remy tells his army to attack while he hides in a tree trunk. 1/3 of the enemies are killed with arrows, and the surprise attack hurts the rest. In a few minutes they run away out of fear, giving the tribe a taste of what it would be like to win. Remy is now their hero, so they all bow down to him. After the war, the tribe is taken to a new, fertile land that they decide to call home. Remy becomes emperor and uses what he knows about his world to improve the village. Soon, they will make one step forward after another and become a modern society. Remy is treated like a god, and he gets to live with a lot of women. During his time in this world, he even paints a portrait of his favorite mistress in the style of the Mona Lisa. 6 months pass in the same way, and Remy changes as a person because he is now the emperor. Geller, Lucille's boyfriend, used to scare him in the past, but now that he has changed, Geller feels threatened by Remy's presence. When they fight because they don't agree on something, Remy is quick to shut him out. It makes him happy that the person he once lost to is afraid of him. Remy gets more and more cocky as time goes on because of all he has done. He treated his people like slaves because he was too proud of his success. People in the village obey him quietly for a few months, but as time goes on, they start to rebel. When Remy finds out about this, he goes to talk to his subjects about what's going on. They say that they work too much and get paid less just to make him laugh. The village doesn't need any more fancy palaces. Instead, the emperor should work to improve the lives of the people. Remy tries to talk to the rebels, but nothing comes of it. When they have had enough, they catch him and throw him out of the village. When Remy gets back to the real world, he asks a friend for help to get his studio back open. He seems to have become more humble since he was an emperor. His life gets back on track when he falls in love with one of his clients, Delphine. They start going out together, but just as she leans in for their first kiss, Remy is pulled back into the other world. The tribe has called him back to ask him to kill Zotan to make the prophecy come true. Remy doesn't want to be involved, but the beast lets him into a cave with him. After a short fight, he is about to die, but at the last second, he throws a ball in a random direction and kills Zotan. When the tribe sees the animal die, they cheer and get ready for the last part of the ritual. It turns out that Remy has to be killed and eaten for the prophecy to come true. He runs into the woods to save his life, but on the way, an old mage destroys an artifact. Remy won't be able to go back to his world without the structure. He is soon found, and just as he is about to be killed, his concubine gets the burning object and throws it into the river. So, he is teleported back to his family, who are in a hospital. While waiting for him, Lucille and Delphine meet each other. Delphine decides to stay away from Remy when she finds out that their divorce hasn't been finalized yet. In the next scene, Lucille realizes that she still loves Remy, and that marrying Geller was a big mistake. She tells him that she kicked the guy out of her house and is willing to give their relationship a second chance. Remy tells her to always be happy and then leaves. Back in another world, the people honor Remy as their savior by building a statue of him. A few months later, Lucille and Remy are having fun as a family on the beach with their kids. In the last scene, Remy is watching TV when he hears that his painting of the Mona Lisa was found at an archaeological site. But historians think a 10-year-old Da Vinci made it because the portrait isn't very good.